Good afternoon. Today we have the honor of speaking with the head of the legal department of the company Forum Group Ukraine, our regular partner with whom we've been working since 2022, I believe, right? The Pareto team has repeatedly assisted with the valuation of corporate rights, intellectual property objects, and other assets at the intersection of business and law, right? So let's talk about how the legal department perceives the value of such cooperation and what it relies on when choosing experts. Yes, experts from our company, our team. Good afternoon, Serhii.
Good afternoon, Mr. Oli.
Good afternoon. I'm glad to see you. All right, let's move on to the question. Please tell us a few words about the company Forum Group Ukraine. What is your main area of focus? What are you working on? What are you working on today?
Forum Group Ukraine is a company that operates business centers in the city of Kyiv. We have been working in the market for more than 20 years. Recently, we have been managing about 10 business centers. All of them are located in Kyiv and are at different stages of development. There are projects that we are completing. There are projects in which we are attracting investors. There are projects that we are selling, and we constantly have to turn to professional appraisers. And that's why we're talking with you, as I understand it.
Yes, and that's why we are working together. Clear, understood. What specific appraisal task did you assign to the Pareto company, to our specialists, and why for you?
We've assigned many.
Yes, thank you. Professionals.
Yes, we've assigned many projects during our corporate reorganization, when transferring assets to foreign companies, when shareholders needed to understand their agreements with each other. We constantly turn to your company. We are satisfied with the result.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for choosing us.
Well, in most cases, it's business valuation, real estate appraisal, valuation of corporate rights of companies using different approaches with various questions. There are always some individual projects that come up, just like for everyone else who is working in Ukraine right now.
Those who are active, yes. Those who are running a business, yes, there are different projects. All right. Among these projects, were there any cases of increased complexity, for example, related to intellectual property objects, transactions between related parties, or say corporate changes? How did we handle that? How did the team of appraisers at Pareto handle it?
Yes, we never have straightforward questions. Then, as you probably already know, not even once. In most cases, we had a very complex, in my opinion, valuation of an operating manufacturing business as a case where we had to consider that this was a very large enterprise with significant challenges, a huge number of assets, including the use of intellectual property objects. Property, including, as you know, an operating enterprise. I always compare this to the work of a surgeon who performs an operation or diagnosis on a functioning mechanism. That's exactly what happened here. It was a complicated case. It was the longest one in our cooperation, but we were completely satisfied with the result, yes.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Good. The next question is for you. What was key for you as a lawyer in the process of cooperation? Was it the legal validity of the conclusions? Yes, the way the value was formulated in the reports, or adherence to deadlines?
Yes, there was always a complete and thorough understanding at the stage when the expert initially took on the case, regardless of its complexity or any unique challenges. The estimated deadlines for the work were consistently met, and the terms and requirements regarding both the cost of services and the methodology used were clearly and fully fulfilled. All our questions were always answered professionally.
Wonderful. And what results or value did you ultimately receive? What would you identify as the greatest advantage of working with Pareto?
Well, the greatest advantage we see in our work with you, both as lawyers and as appraisers, is the absence of errors, the absence of remarks, and the ability to use this appraisal for any purpose. We involved, and later these work results were submitted to foreign, for example, English auditors, their specialists, lawyers, and partners. And there were never any remarks, including technical ones, which, as is often the case in such meticulous work, usually arise. All the results of the work were accepted and used in accordance with the objectives set by the company when evaluating this work. This is the main achievement. Some may underestimate this, but those who work constantly in the legal field understand how valuable this is. First and foremost, when you are confident in the tools you use.
Yes, 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 I agree with you. We have a multi-layered report verification process. Yes, that is, we control the quality. Excellent. In today's business environment, everything changes rapidly. Do you see any new areas where it would be interesting for us to work together? We will.
Look, the main questions right now have been about the valuation activities of Pareto company. But even now, I already understand that we are cooperating in all the main areas. That is, we have approached the company regarding our cases, for example, when we needed to conduct a transfer pricing study at large enterprises, we reached out, and also when we needed to use the services of an auditor. Again, we have actually evaluated almost all types of assets that can be used now, including some intangible assets. And well, I find it difficult to say in which area we are not currently cooperating. Perhaps only some services like ChatGPT you haven't provided to us yet. We also,
Of course, we're looking into that as well. Yes.
yes, I do understand that we will probably come to use these tools in our work together, and we'll definitely reach out to you when we're ready ourselves. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Next question from me. In your opinion, what role does professional asset valuation play in legal practice today, especially in the context of changes in legislation and the regulatory environment?
Well, everyone understands that, in fact, for almost any transaction, especially for intra-group transactions, a valuation is always necessary. It addresses the issue of price determination. As of today, overall, this is a very complicated situation because for shareholders, especially in the absence of, for example, a clear real estate market, it's very important not to rely solely on their own internal beliefs, but on the report of a professional appraiser. That's why, well, this will always be necessary. In addition, the tax aspects of our activities, once again, always raise the issue that there must be a fair market value. Also, once again, right now, our ongoing cooperation is steadily moving towards the point where we will have to commission a comprehensive forensic economic expert report. Unfortunately, our business centers have recently been hit by enemy missiles. I wouldn't want to end on this rather somber note, but again, we will definitely be reaching out to you for advice on how to handle this situation properly. Of course, we understand your experience and that clients with similar problems turn to you as well. Well, this is also moving us to a truly international level of work because this assessment will be used in the future, and I sincerely hope that there will be appropriate compensation from foreign countries in due course. So, well, that's life. We have to work.
Yes, yes, yes. That's life. Exactly. Yes. We keep working and working, including in this area. Yes, well, I wish we didn't have this kind of work. And finally, if any partners or colleagues were looking for a reliable consultant in the field of property or asset valuation, what would you recommend and what would you highlight about our company?
I always, once again, to those colleagues with whom we have a partnership or very good relations, highly recommend working with your company. And I am confident that most of them reach out to you based on our positive feedback. Again, I can confidently tell all colleagues, please agree on very specific and clear deadlines for completion on the exact and precise cost, and accordingly, you will definitely get the result you expect.
Wonderful. Well then, Serhii, thank you sincerely for the meaningful conversation and for your professional assessment of our work. We fully understand how high the standards you set for us are, and yes, for lawyers, that's important. Deadlines, justification. So for us, it is a great honor to be your partners. If you, yes, if
To your team for their work, Mr. Ole.
Yes, wonderful. If you and our viewers as well need solutions that can withstand scrutiny, whether in negotiations, in court, before investors or auditors, please reach out to the company paired to. We will be happy to see you among our clients. Well, until we meet again, dear Serhii.
Thank you. Until we meet again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.